Along to the nation. Dolly Parton, the country music icon who broke every barrier known in the music industry, has passed away at the age of 80.
On August 25, 2026, Dolly Parton passed away at the age of 80 after a brief battle with cancer. More than 60 years of music came to an end, and country music lost a voice that may never truly be replaced.
He said, "Kenny, I just want you to know something. I could never sing at your funeral."
It was kindred spirits. That sounds silly, but no, they were absolute. You could just feel it from the second they met. It was two peas in a pod.
Her life's work to me is a narrative, a painful, beautiful, poetic, melodic commentary on what it's like to be human.
She conquered not with force, but with love.
24 hours a day, every day of the year. Congratulations, Dolly.
But when more than 10 artists who actually knew Dolly were asked about her, something strange happened. Each remembered a completely different Dolly, and many of their stories sounded nothing like the public image the world thought it knew. And stay until the end, because when all those memories come together, you'll understand why the thing they remember most about Dolly has nothing to do with the music or the fame. 1. The real Dolly everyone fell in love with fire. Dolly had 11 Grammys and spent more than half a century on stage. But the people who truly knew her rarely started with the awards. They remembered the person behind the name.
Dolly Parton, you bonded with her
Yes.
while making that film.
She is an amazing woman. She is so smart, and she's kind of psychic. She's really profound. I'm in awe of Dolly. I love her very much.
I think how Dolly sees herself is the best part. Dolly didn't just get the joke, she wrote it. And she doesn't care if you're laughing as long as you're listening.
Everything you imagine she is or was, everything that you wanted her to be.
Kenny Rogers knew Dolly for decades. Lily Tomlin knew her from 9 to 5. Ken Burns met her after she was already a legend. 3 very different moments in her life, yet somehow they all seemed to meet almost exactly the same Dolly.
You know what's on her mind. But she's a wonderful girl, and we'll go 3 or 4 years without seeing each other. Every night, someone asks me, "Where's Dolly?"
So you'd say, you know, she has fake nails, fake hair, blah, 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 something, but she is the most authentic person I have ever known. And that's
The thing that impressed me the first time I met her in the early 90s in a few different social situations, how smart she was, how funny she was, how self-deprecating. And
2. The talent that even legends admired.
I agree completely. She was unbelievably smart, unbelievably directed and intentional about everything. She had great faith. She was incredibly...
Apparently, she wasn't exhausted after that sheer genius, because on the same night, she wrote Jolene.
Jolene, Then I Will Always Love You. If that happened to almost any other songwriter, it might have been the peak of an entire career. For Dolly, it was apparently just another day at work.
Well, she said, I never made a movie, and I thought I better memorize the whole darn script. And she did.
I don't know how I got into it, but I got into it. And I was one day in a recording studio with Linda Perry and Dolly Parton.
Became an anthem for our culture of the time. And just another example of how Dolly's lifelong compassion.
Then Hollywood came calling. Dolly walked on to 9 to 5, having never acted in a movie before, and walked away with an Oscar nomination for the song she wrote for it. Apparently, Dolly was never very good at being a beginner.
By myself. It had a different meaning, a different set of values to it. And musically, it was so much better.
To see her at the bowl, and she plays like 92 instruments. I'm talking about her as if she's still here. An amazing soul on this earth.
But this is where the numbers stop telling the story. If you really want to know who Dolly was, ask the people she invited into her world. 3. The friend everyone treasured. The hair had to be perfect. The outfits did too. But Dolly never kept a perfect distance from people, and that's where some of the best stories begin.
Dolly at the Grand Ole Opry. Oh my God, at the stateroom at the end. I never saw her not looking 100% Dolly Parton. The wig, the whole thing. Going to see these people, she presented herself just like they hoped she would. And I thought, yeah, that's how to do it. You've got to love those people who like you.
And puts her, my theory is that Dolly has no filter. If it goes in her mind, it comes out her mouth. You know, she doesn't stop to think, maybe I shouldn't say that.
How much of the song do you sing?
I sing all of it, all through it.
Oh, really?
All throughout it. I sing kind of backup to Dolly.
That's fantastic.
A friendship that began in the early 1990s. 15 years later, Dolly would become Miley Cyrus's godmother.
I was, and we laughed, and I never thought about it. From that moment on, we became very good friends. Little did I know at that time, some 15 years later, she would end up becoming Aunt Dolly on Hannah Montana.
With Dolly, we went on the road. She was so grateful for me casting her in the movie 9 to 5.
4. A heart that always gave back.
Her humanitarian achievements are as staggering as her formidable singing career.
Her father never learned to read. Dolly carried that with her for the rest of her life. And from that deeply personal sadness, more than 300 million books eventually found their way into the hands of children.
Dolly just gave so much money, generational money, and changed our East Tennessee Children's Hospital to Dolly Parton Children's Hospital.
They're kind of proto-feminists. They are saying, as Loretta did, don't come home a-drinking with lovin' on your mind. And Dolly's got these heartfelt senses, $1 million to promote a vaccine for COVID, which ended up saving millions of lives.
In 2020, $1 million for Moderna vaccine research. No guitar, no stage. Yet it may have been one of the moments when Dolly touched more lives than ever before.
Got to swing by and see what she's built, what she's done for Sevier County. She has single-handedly made the Smoky Mountains what they are. It's one of the most traveled through mountains in America, and we all give Dolly Parton credit for it.
Lifelong compassion can be found in her philanthropy. No.
Boy, does she have fans, and she just loves them and appreciates them, and she taught me a lot. She didn't say anything.
So she showed by example.
She showed by example.
Yeah.
5. The legacy that made the world remember Dolly. Dolly came from a one-room home shared by a family with 12 children in Tennessee. No one there could have imagined that little girl would one day become someone generations of artists would describe with just one word: legend.
She grew up in a 2-room home with no running water. She would go on to become one of the greatest storytellers of our time.
We started shooting. She came in, she knew my part, she knew Jane's part.
Did she help you out when you forgot your lines? Did she
help us?
My sister Lucy, who's passed, and Dumplin had a very special relationship and a deep love for Dolly Parton.
And that influence never stopped with country music. From P&K to Jennifer Aniston, from music to movies, Dolly lived long enough to see people who had grown up with her work eventually standing beside her.
Dolly Parton. There are few finer songwriters, male or female, that have
part of. She sings. She does the soundtrack.
She does sing.
She does sing. She does. I just learned that. I did not know she was a singer.
You did, yeah. And she's good.
I was hired. One of my first directing jobs ever was her first television movie. It was called A Smoky Mountain Christmas.
More than 60 years of a career, nearly 3,000 songs, over 100 million records sold. Yet ask the people who actually knew Dolly, and they'll tell you about breakfasts, days spent working together, and tiny personal moments instead.
But she also brings this spirit of reminding us of an essential shared dignity that we Americans have.
Proving once again that she is the only author of her story. And what an incredible story that you have written, Dolly Parton.
And that story continues even after Dolly is gone. Not because people are desperately trying to hold on to her, but because she left behind too much for others not to carry forward.
I went to Nashville. I stayed with her and her husband, Carl. That was an experience in her house. Carl cooked us breakfast. I said, how did you two meet? And he described the first time he saw her. He was driving a truck past a 7-Eleven, and there she was in the parking lot drinking a Crown Cola.
Beautiful movie. First of all, it's an homage to Dolly Parton. It's a female empowerment, self-empowerment movie, just basically about a young girl whose mother is an ex-beauty pageant winner. The crown, the queen.
Listen, I got a lot of folks to thank, so I'm going to put this down for a second, okay? Dolly, of course, coming from you, this is truly an honor. You wrote a beautiful song. Thank you so much for writing such beautiful songs, really.
She is one of the few people that who remains in this world that everyone loves and respects.
When people were asked about Dolly Parton, each of them remembered a different Dolly, a friend, a songwriter, a Tennessee girl, someone who once opened the door to her home and welcomed them inside. But beneath all those different stories was the same truth: they didn't just admire Dolly. They genuinely loved her. And perhaps after a life that lasted 80 years, that was her most beautiful achievement of all. If you have a memory connected to Dolly, even if it's just one song, share it in the comments below.